Hello, today we will talk about China and World Bank Group. In this section, we'll talk about World Bank Group and its relationship with China. As for this, firstly, we must make clear what's World Bank Group. With 189 member countries, staff from more than 170 countries, and offices in more than 130 locations. The World Bank Group is a unique global partnership. 5 institutions working for sustainable solutions that reduce poverty and build shared prosperity in developing countries. These 5 institutions include IBRD, the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, IDA, the International Development Association, IFC, the International Finance Corporation, MIGA, the Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency, and ICSID, the International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes. Its missions are to end extreme poverty by reducing the share of the global population that lives in extreme poverty to 3% by 2030. And to promote shared prosperity by increasing the incomes of the poorest 40% of people in every country. World Bank Group has established great relationships with governments and private sectors around the world. Through these 5 institutions, the World Bank Group provides financing, technical assistance, political risk insurance, and settlement of disputes to private enterprises, including financial institutions. What do they do? The World Bank Group works in every major area of development. They provide a wide array of financial products and technical assistance. They help countries share and apply innovative knowledge and solutions to the challenges we face. Together, IBRD and IDA from World Bank, which provides financing, policy advice, and technical assistance to governments of developing countries. IDA focuses on the world's poorest countries, while IBRD assists middle-income and credit-worthy poor countries. IFC, MIGA, and ICSID focus on strengthening the private sector in developing countries. More specifically, IBRD provides financial development and policy financing. IDA provides zero to low interest loans and grants. IFC mobilizes private sector investment and provides advice. MIGA provides political risk insurance guarantees, and ICSID settles investment disputes. Since 1947, the World Bank has funded over 12,000 development projects via traditional loans, interest-free credits, and grants. Figure 9.1 shows the distribution of the assistance programs currently carried out by the World Bank Organization on each continent. We can clearly find that most aid projects are mostly concentrated in Africa and Asia because there are a large number of developing and underdeveloped countries here. Figure 9.2 shows that the distribution of value of aid programs currently carried out by the World Bank Organization on each continent. We can clearly find that the value of aid received by Africa East and Africa West accounted for the majority of the total value of aid, reaching over $100 billion. Similarly, the value of aid received by South Asia is also considerable, providing loans and investment to member countries and promoting the balanced development of international trade have always been the goals of the World Bank Group. Since China resumed its legal status in the World Bank Group in May 1980, it has maintained a good cooperation relationship with the World Bank Group and has achieved remarkable results in three aspects: loan cooperation, knowledge cooperation, and international development cooperation. Loan cooperation. Loan cooperation is one of the most important contents of cooperation between China and the World Bank Group. It is also the basis for other cooperation. The World Bank's project loans to China cover all provinces, autonomous regions, and municipalities in mainland China, except Tibet. Its capital mainly flows into the fields of transportation, agriculture, urban construction, environment, energy, industry, education, and health. Over the past 40 years, loans of World Bank have not only made up for the funds needed for China's economic construction and social development, but also play an obvious role in promoting China's institutional innovation and technological innovation. For example, the competitive binding mechanism, engineer supervision system, and owner responsibility system introduced through loans of World Bank have become standard practice in China's major engineering projects. The Regional Health Resource Planning and Medical Poverty Alleviation Fund, piloted by the World Bank project, have provided valuable lessons for China's health system reform and development. In May 2008, after the Wenchuan earthquake, the World Bank provided a series of emergency assistance to China, including $1.5 million in technical assistance grants, $710 million emergency loans for post-disaster recovery and reconstruction, and timely post-disaster recovery and reconstruction policy recommendations. Knowledge cooperation. In recent years, the World Bank has conducted special investigation on the bottleneck areas of economic and social development, such as China's finance, social security, enterprise reform, investment environment, knowledge economy, rural development, poverty alleviation and development, education and health, transportation, energy and water conservancy, and environmental protection. The World Bank has put forward many valuable opinions and suggestions for China's macroeconomic management and industry sector reforms, which have played a positive role in promoting China's further developing of reforms and major institution innovations. International development cooperation. With the rapid development of China's economy and its international influence, international development cooperation has increasingly become an important area of cooperation between China and the World Bank. First of all, the World Bank is an important channel for China to obtain advanced development concepts. Secondly, as World Bank publicizes China's development achievements, development experience, and development concepts, it objectively promoted the international community's understanding and support for development of China. Third, by playing its role as a shareholder state, China has continuously expanded its influence on the World Bank's major decisions, guiding the World Bank's policies and operations in more objective and fair direction, and created an internal environment conducive to global common development. For a long time, China has been actively supporting and participating in South-South cooperation, making full use of the unique advantage of the World Bank, the largest multilateral development agency in development assistance, and expand China's influence in developing countries. China's contributions. At the beginning of reform and opening up, China not only urgently needed a large amount of economic construction funds and professional talents, but also eager to understand the outside world and learn advanced foreign technology and experiences. On May 15, 1980, China officially resumed its legal status in World Bank, opening the prelude to the cooperation between the two parties, and it takes an important step for China to appear on the world stage. Over the past 40 years, from simply borrowing from the World Bank to actively donating funds to it, from learning foreign modes from the World Bank to sharing China's experience, from ordinary member countries to the third largest shareholder, China's cooperation with the World Bank has witnessed China's economic development. The miracle of rapid development has also promoted China to play an increasingly important role on the world stage. In 2007, the Chinese government pledged for the first time to donate $30 million to the International Development Association, a World Bank group that provides assistance to the poorest groups. From the former largest borrower of the largest of the International Development Association to a donor country, this change in China is eye-catching, showing the world the miracle of China's rapid economic development in the past 30 years, said Zhu Lik, then president of the World Bank. China uses this platform of World Bank to learn from abroad. Its unique national conditions also accumulate experience for the World Bank to cooperate with other countries. Since 2008, China has been cooperating with World Bank to hold China-Africa Shared Development Experience Seminar every year to discuss the problems China and Africa countries face in their development and learn from each other's development experiences and models. Zhu Lik said that with the rapid development of China's economy and its gradual expansion of international influence, the knowledge cooperation between China and the World Bank is shifting from one-way input to two-way exchanges. With the help of the platform, World Bank, China is sharing its own successful experience in development with other developing countries. On April 25, 2010, the World Bank implemented the consensus of a Pittsburgh Summit of the Group of the 20 and 2009 World Bank Annual Meeting on governance reform decisions. China's voting rights increased from 2.77% to 4.42%, making it the third largest shareholder in country. The increase of China's voting rights in the World Bank reflects, to a certain extent, the promotion of China's international status. And it also marks a new historical period for the cooperation between World Bank and China, said Zhu Lik. In February 2008, the World Bank officially announced that Professor Lin Yifu, director of the China Economic Research Center of Peking University, served as the World Bank's executive vice president and chief economist. The World Bank's spokesperson, the president chief economic advisor, and in charge of World Bank research. Lin Yifu was expected to promote the development of Africa and exchange of South-South experience. The important task appointed by the World Bank to Lin Yifu, a Chinese native scholar, reflects the World Bank's recognition of the sustained and rapid development of China's economy and the recognition of the important role of Chinese economists in China's economic development. How do the leaders of World Bank think of China's performance? When President Xi Jinping meets then World Bank President Kim Yong in 2018, Beijing, Kim Yong expressed his gratitude to China for its long-term support to the World Bank. The World Bank appreciates China's support for multilateralism, economic globalization, World Bank capital increase, and equity reform. He said, the Belt and Road Initiative proposed by President Xi embodies foresight and greatly contributes to the international development cooperation and poverty reductions. The World Bank is willing to work with China to further deepen cooperation under the Belt and Road Initiative framework and jointly promote global poverty reduction and development for continuous new achievements. On the third day of taking office, the new president of World Bank, David Malpass, attended the 2019 spring meeting of the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. He said that he looked forward to developing a constructive relationship with China during his tenure as the president of the World Bank. He also emphasized that poverty alleviation, common prosperity are the main goals of the World Bank. Malpass said that he knows that China has achieved great success in reducing extreme poverty. In China, as many as 850 million people are no longer in extreme poverty. In this regard, China can share experience and insights with other countries and regions in the world. Malpass said that the relationship between China and the World Bank has been developing and evolving, and China has also undergone tremendous changes in decades, especially in terms of economic growth. Malpass said that China has gradually transformed from a major borrower of the World Bank into a smaller loaner. China's loans from the World Bank have been reduced for some time, and this is part of the changes in the World Bank's relationship with China. China's future outlook of World Bank. China should use the reform of World Bank as an opportunity to better play its role as a shareholder state, continue to expand its influence on the World Bank's strategic direction and major decisions, and promotes the World Bank to share and learn from successful development paths and experiences of other countries, and to continue to enrich and improve its own development theory, making the World Bank to better fulfill its poverty reduction and development objectives. Okay, let's do a quiz to refresh what we have learned. Let's look at the answer. Is your answer correct? That's all for this lecture. Thank you.